Hi my loves, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. In one of my last videos when I started reorganizing my bookshelf, I realized how many books I have collected and acquired over the past month, I would say, and asked you all if you wanted a book haul, and you all seem to really want one. So that is exactly what we're doing today. We have a very big book haul. I kind of didn't realize how many books I'd received and bought in the past month, but I am so excited to share some of them with you and get your opinions on them all. And I thought I'd include in this video very briefly as well, I got a new Kindle recently. I've only had the most basic Kindle before and I've upgraded, so I thought I'd talk a little bit about that as well, because I'm always interested about that. And I know I would have loved to see more opinions on the difference between the different Kindles, but I think I'll talk about that at the end and we'll just focus on the books for now. So without further ado, let's just get started because honestly I'm so excited. One thing about me as a reader is that I will always find a creative way to track my reads throughout the year, to journal all my reads throughout the year. Whilst I love having a physical book journal though, I really like designing them online. It kind of gives me more creative freedom, and Kindle is my favorite platform to create designs like that. I use Kindle on a daily basis for numerous reasons. Whether it's creating book journals to keep up my current reads, I love doing this as kind of a wind down exercise at the end of the day. Whether it's creating YouTube thumbnails or Instagram thumbnails for you guys, if you're a content creator like me, this is one of the best platforms I have used. Their templates are so aesthetic. You can personalize them to your own branding. It is just so easy to connect with your audience and find the right way to brand your content. And I also use them, and this is one of my favorite things, to create Kindle covers. I am a big Kindle reader and I recently got a clear case, and now I can just change up my stickers, change up the case all the time. I usually use templates from Kindle to create designs and personalize them to either to the season we are in, to the book I'm reading, and then I'll print them out and put them in the back of my clear Kindle case, and it's just the funnest thing. It gives you the opportunity to switch up your cases all the time, and if you're like me, I get bored of the same case really quickly. But it is one of the easiest platforms I have ever used as a content creator, and as someone who journals all the time, it just makes it so aesthetic. You can personalize it to the book series that you're reading, to the vibe you want for your journal. If you are a creative book girly like me, or a social media creator, this is so useful. And you can use my code Frey25 for 25% off all paid plans, which is amazing, but that also is a free option as well. Or you can use the link in my bio. Thank you so much to Kindle for sponsoring this part of the video. We're going to start with the most exciting book mail first. A few weeks ago, I was just looking at my little email and I saw an email from Hachette, and they asked if I wanted to receive the special editions of Magnolia Parks. Now, I was going to buy these anyway. I think these are stunning books. Like, Magnolia Parks is one of my favorite series of all time. And so I was like, oh my gosh, and started crying. And I was like, I cannot believe I just got this opportunity. And I was like, yes, please, that would be amazing. So they kindly sent me the entire collection of Magnolia Parks special editions. Now, they only did the Magnolia Parks part of the universe. They didn't do the Daisy Hates ones because the Magnolia Parks is completed, but Daisy Hates still has a few more books to come out. And these are them. I'll show you each. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the first one. It has this absolutely stunning gold foiling, and it is cloth bound, as I said, and then it has a little quote on the back with little kind of like symbolism things, like there's little bees and flowers and everything on here. If you've read the series, you'll know. And then this is my favorite part. In every single book, they have an inside that looks like this. It's kind of like a Monopoly board situation, and each of the little like squares or little token areas relate to the series as a whole. It's just such a beautiful little touch to these, and I just think it is absolutely gorgeous. Like, looking at them, you can kind of just relive the whole book whilst you're looking at them. It is absolutely stunning. I am obsessed. So that is the first one. Then Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home. Again, beautiful gold foiling. Like, it's actually stunning and similar to the traditionally published versions. And then we also have a quote on the back. These are just absolutely stunning. And then the inside for this one, this is really thick as well. It's like a big book. Like, they're stunning. Like, I want to display them on my bookshelf like this. Like, the artwork in here is amazing. I love that she works with the same artist every single time. And working with artists is such a big thing for me. Like, I'm a big artist, if you didn't know. I don't think I've talked about it much, actually. But I paint and draw a lot and stuff. I actually studied it for a while. Yeah, I just think working with artists for the covers of books, this is the last one, Into the Dark, is so important. I hate that AI is having such a big impact on the covers of books and stuff. I just think it's not fair at all. This is my favorite quote on the back, by the way. How many loves do you get in a lifetime? That's a question I've wondered before. This book broke me, by the way. It's so thick and it just broke me when I read it the first time. And then the inside for this one is definitely my favorite. This book is just my favorite out of the entire series. Like, I can't help it. Love it. But yeah, anyway, I think these are the most beautiful editions. They are the most beautiful editions I have ever owned. I don't usually get special editions because I am always moving and I rent. It's just really hard to like pack them up securely, and I've kind of left collecting special editions to a later part in my life, in my book life. These are just the most, I was gonna get these anyway because these are just the most stunning books I have ever owned. Talked about them a lot, but yeah, these are definitely the highlight of my haul today. All right, let's get into some other stuff. Sticking to series, it was recently again gifted. Like, I feel so incredibly lucky in this haul. I feel like I bought a few of these books, but some of these I was gifted and I'm just kind of doing them first just to say thank you. But I am so excited about this series. Again, would have bought this entire series if I hadn't been sent it, because, and I was literally about to, because it kind of got lost in the post for a while. And I was, about to go buy it, but then it arrived on my doorstep. This is by Abigail Owen, and this is, I think it's called the Rogue King series. It's called the Inferno Rising series. So it starts off with Rogue King, I think. Anyway, Abigail Owen wrote The Games Gods Play. If you've been keeping up with me, or if you watch any of my TikToks, that has been one of my favorite fantasy reads of the year. It's like a Greek mythology inspired fantasy romance with a whole tournament aspect, and it's just one of my favorite books I've read this entire year. So when I heard that they were republishing, because these were originally published a while ago, but republishing this series, which I had no idea she had, I just got so excited because I love the way she writes. I think it's so easy to read. So it's a 4-book romantasy series. So I'm so excited to start this one. Actually, it's going to be in an upcoming vlog, so keep your eye out for that one. I think it'll be like after this video. But so it starts off with the Rogue King and then goes to the Blood King, the Warrior King, and the Cursed King. They all just match so well, which is really satisfying to me. And I'm just really excited to dive into a new romantasy series. I think this is a paranormal romance as well, which we love. Brad got me into loving that. Anyway, I'm very excited about that one, and thank you so much HarperCollins for sending me them. Like, I screamed when I got them. We're gonna start talking about some books I bought because of course I'm buying books as well. So The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. This is the 3rd book in the Mistborn trilogy. I believe there are more books in the Mistborn universe, but I think this is the original trilogy complete. Brandon Sanderson is so confusing to me. I'm just taking off all the price tags as I talk, by the way, because I kind of forgot to. But I have been completing my Brandon Sanderson journey this year. It's the final book in the Mistborn trilogy. As I said, so scared to read it, but I like to have all of his books physically because there's just something so satisfying about reading his books and like seeing your progress as you go through. I don't think this one's as long. It's like 750 pages, so I don't think it's as long as the last book I read, and definitely not as long as some of the other books that are coming. But I'm just so excited. This is one of my favorite series I have ever read. I just think it is wonderful. I am so excited to jump back into this world. Very nervous for this one though. I like all of my comments all the time is like, Hero of Ages will destroy you. And I'm like, great. That's definitely boosting my confidence. But it's fine. I'm very, very excited for this one. So I bought this one myself because I really want to complete this series. And then I got sucked into the entire cosmic universe because I was like, look, I'm going to start this soon enough. So we have The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I actually had the first book of this, but it was in one of those 2-parters, and I found it like a secondhand store. Now they've published it in like an entire book. So it's a very long book. It is like over 1,100 pages. This is the shortest in the series though. So we have The Way of Kings, which is the first book in the series. We then have The War of Radiance. This one comes in at a whopping 1,180 pages. We then have Oathbreaker, which just, oh, it gets so scary. This one is 1,370 pages. Oh my God, like what is going to happen? That's my question. And then we have Rhythm of War, which is number 4, and this comes out, I think it's like 1,400 pages or something like that. The cover for this one is definitely my favorite. I love it. I love how they all match so well as well. But the next book in this series comes out in December, which I am very excited about, despite the fact that I haven't even started the series. I'm excited for its release because then I can just, I want to say binge this series, but I know it's going to take me like a good few weeks to get through one book. So I know that. I'm very aware of that. But nevertheless, I think I'll probably split these into like audiobook and physical book reading just to help me get through them a little bit quicker. And let me know if you want to vlog for these because God, it's scary, but I'm hoping to dive into these soon. Once I finished Hero of Ages, I'm going to dive into this series. I think that's the correct reading order. There might be some like little ones in between, but like these are the big series. This reading order of the series, I think. I don't know. The Cosme really confuses me. Like you think Sarah J Maas is confusing? Wait until you get into Brandon Sanderson's world. Those 4 books are now on my TBR and I could not be happier. Could not be happier that I am building my Brandon Sanderson collection. We then have Lightlark. Again, I was sent this one very kindly by the publisher. Like this has been on my TBR for like a year and a half now. Like I've just been so scared because there's been so much kind of just mixed opinions on this. Like some people absolutely love it and they're like, this is actually a really good, unique read. Other people are like, what was this? I'm actually halfway through it, but I'm not going to tell you any of my thoughts because, and I'm just hinting at my other reading vlogs, my next reading vlog is about this book. So you can watch my thoughts then. But I've just been wanting to dive into this universe for a long time, or this series. I saw that it was literally announced the day that I'm filming this, that this is no longer just a trilogy like we originally thought. There's actually going to be 2 more books in the series. I don't know if they're continuing on from this story or if we're getting different characters. I don't know what the deal is. I didn't like look into it too much, but I do know that we're getting more books in this series. And I'm hoping if I like this one, because the new one just released, I can just read this one, read the second one, and then read the third one. Just like binge them all, because there is nothing more than I enjoy than binging a romantasy series, sorry. Binging a romantasy series, the best thing. If you didn't know, if you've been living under a rock, Lightlark is basically about this island that appears every 100 years. When it appears, it gives a chance for people to break the 6 deadly curses that they all have. Each kind of like race, almost like magical race, has a different curse on them. And this is kind of like a tournament that's held, and it gives them that one very small chance to defeat these curses and like let them live free, good, happy lives. It's a very interesting premise, honestly. I think that in itself is quite unique. So I'll just say that. I then have an arc of Cruel is the Light by Sophie Clarke. This is a YA fantasy romance novel that is coming out in January 25. First of all, this arc is stunning. This is actually on my TBR for the month, so hopefully I'll reach it. It says on the back, but can love win in a war between demons and exorcists? Or will it just tear them all apart? So I think we have like a lot of like mythical creatures, a bit of paranormal activity, a lot of just like a big fantasy book. And I'm really excited to dive into this one because it's something I haven't heard of. I love reading fantasy books that I haven't heard of, that are new, just giving authors a new chance, giving new authors a chance. I'm just very excited to get into this one. I don't want to read too much about it, but I do I'm just very excited to go into it. I know it is an enemies to lovers kind of like battle situation, like they're on opposite sides, I think. Again, which really intrigues me, but I'm very excited to jump into this one. And again, the art cover is stunning. I treasure my arcs like you would not believe. Speaking of arcs and speaking of Alex Astor, who wrote Lightlark, she kindly sent me her arc for Summer in the City. This was my first book I actually read by her. It's in one of my most recent vlogs as well. When I saw she was coming out with a romance book, like, does this girl have a break? She just keeps coming out with books. It's insane. Like, go her. She's just knocking it out of the park, honestly. Basically, to me, this felt like a 2000s chick flick in a book. It's very short, very sweet, perfect for summer when it comes out. I think it's coming out March next year. I will say, I feel like felt a little bit rushed, but apart from that, it was a really, really easy, fun read. Basically, we are following our main protagonist who is a screenwriter, and she's dealing with writer's block at the moment. And then she has an opportunity to house sit this billionaire apartment in New York, and she takes it. She's like, maybe I'll get some more inspiration from that, only to find out the neighbor to this apartment is a billionaire she has run into and met a few times, and let's just say they didn't get on very well. It's really fun, really cute, but I cannot believe I have the arc for this. And also, you guys in the US, like, your books feel so different to ours in like Australia, and I think the UK is similar to us. First of all, that flop is insane, but also it just feels different. It doesn't crease when you like fold it over like this, which I love. I then got Spectacular by Stephanie Garber. So this is a novella to the Caraval series. Stephanie Garber is one of my favorite authors, like one of my all-time favorite authors. What I love most about this little novella is the illustrations. There are illustrations on every single page. Okay, that was kind of a bad one that I opened, but here, like, these are absolutely stunning. It's almost like a graphic novel in a sense, but not quite, I would say. It's definitely not, but like it kind of verges on it because of all like the beautiful illustrations. It is one of the most stunning books. Well, I can't wait to read this. I'm saving this for kind of like closer to Christmas though, because it's Christmassy vibes, spectacular, you know, very excited for Christmas. And I want to have some more Christmas reads, so it's perfect. It's a fantasy Christmas read. Lady of Shadows, this is the second book to Lady of Darkness. I actually haven't read the first book. Sorry, but I do want to read it very soon. This is a romantasy series and it has been republished. So I think it was published a good few years ago, but they're getting republished again, getting some new covers, and I really want to read it. The only thing that annoys me is the text is absolutely tiny, so I'll probably be reading it on my Kindle. But all I know is that this is a romantasy series and I think it's about 3 sisters. I really don't know much. And it is part of a trilogy, I believe. Yeah, there's Lady of Ashes next. So again, another little fantasy trilogy to binge. I mean, the third one hasn't been like released again yet, but it will be soon. Probably by the time I read these both, it will be released. And then the final book to this haul is Last Shot. Penguin kindly sent me this book, and again, it is an ARC copy. This is a thriller set at a winery. So unique, so fun. I'm saving this for summer because I feel like this will be like, if I go on a summer vacation, this will be like the perfect little book to read by the pool, sitting by the beach, whatever, and just absolutely binge. Like, I feel like it will be that kind of vibes. First of all, cover. I love the watercolor look. Like, it is beautiful. Literally, that's what's intriguing me about it. And just a quick, good thriller. So that is all of the books I have for this haul. I am so thankful for all of these books that were sent to me. Like, I can't believe this is my life. If you told me like a year or two ago that this would be my life right now, I would have cried. I would have been like, I don't believe you. Before I go though, I do want to talk about my new Kindle. So again, I was gonna get another Kindle because Amazon were releasing all these new Kindles and my one is very old. It's about 4 years old, and it was just like getting really slow, and I had the most basic version. But then Amazon reached out to me and were like, would love to send you one. And I was like, how how is this my life? Again, I feel like this video is just me rambling about being grateful for what I get sent, but like genuinely, I am very grateful. I did just want to quickly like let you know the difference between a basic Kindle and a Paperwhite Kindle, because I had no idea. I had no idea that there was a big difference. So if you have a Kindle, feel free to skip this. Thank you for watching this far. But if you don't, and if you're wondering about if you want to upgrade your Kindle, first of all, if you have a basic Kindle and you use it like on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, I would highly recommend upgrading to a Paperwhite. There is such a big difference. Also, I'm obsessed with decorating the stickers. This is also the jade green one, so they came out with actual colored ones. I think there is a jade green and a raspberry metallic kind of color, but this one is the jade green one. And first of all, the big difference like physically is that it's a little bit wider, it's a little bit bigger, and there is no kind of like indents. On the other basic Kindles, there's a little bit of a border. This one doesn't have that. It's just like flat, if that makes sense. This is also so much faster than the other Kindle I had. I can like read at like 10 times speed than my last Kindle. On my last Kindle, I'd be like clicking it and then have to wait like a few seconds and then clicking it, like, you know, to get to the next page. Or if it started glitching and I clicked like twice, it would start skipping like heaps and heaps of pages. So for that reason, this is so much quicker. It's so much easier to download books, especially if you use Kindle Unlimited, so much easier. Overall, a lot faster, a lot easier. It also has the dark mode, which my basic Kindle didn't have. So at night, if you're reading, I'll show you, just has it black like that rather than light. And so it just kind of protects your eyes a little bit more. I really like it. It makes it a lot easier to read in the early morning as well. I'm a big early morning reader. Yeah, personally, Paperwhite I think is 10 times better than the basic Kindle, but in saying that, if you just want a Kindle to kind of test it out, if you don't really want to commit to a lot and you just feel like you'll use it just now and then or just when you're traveling, the basic Kindle will be fine. Like, it's great, it's fine. Especially the new matcha one. That is a gorgeous color. But that brings us to the end of the video today. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I appreciate you all being here so much, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading vlog. I'm so excited to hear your opinions on my next reading vlog because I tackle some very anticipated books. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.